Atlanta police search for a gunman who killed 1 and injured 4 in a medical building. A 39-year-old woman was killed and 4 other women were injured after a gunman opened fire in a downtown Atlanta medical office building, police said. The shooter is still at large and considered armed and dangerous, the Atlanta Police Department said. Police identified the alleged gunman as Dion Patterson, 24. At least 3 of the injured victims were sent to Grady Memorial Hospital and are in critical condition, according to Dr. Robert Jansen, the hospital's chief of staff, who briefed the media Wednesday afternoon. As of 5 p.m. Eastern Time, one of the victims was still in the operating room, Jansen said. The injured victims, all women, aged 71, 56, 39 and 25, Atlanta Police Chief Darren Shearbaum said in a news conference. It's unclear if these victims were specifically targeted by the gunman or if they are employees or patients of the medical practice, he said. Shortly after noon ET, police received calls of the shooting in the waiting room in one of the offices in Northside Hospital Midtown Medical, Shearbaum said. Patterson's mother was with him at the time, but was not one of the injured, the chief said. The family of the alleged shooter is cooperating with law enforcement, he said. The chief said the suspect has had minimal contact with the police department. He said police have not yet found the gun involved in the shooting. Officials don't believe the suspect is still in the area of the shooting, police said. Several law enforcement agencies from the Atlanta region as well as federal agencies are involved in the investigation and manhunt. The police department has since lifted the shelter-in-place advisory, but urged people to stay away from the area of the investigation and from the suspect if they see him. Shearbaum said witnesses have called in with reports of sightings of the alleged suspect in Atlanta and elsewhere in Cobb County. Police released photos of the alleged shooter that appear to have been taken by security cameras. The individual is wearing a light-colored sweatshirt with the hood pulled over and dark pants. Many of the photos have this person's face largely obscured with a face mask. The APD is also investigating a carjacking they believed was committed by the gunman, which occurred on 14th Street and William Street near the site of the shooting not long after. Police in Cobb County have since recovered the vehicle. Northside Hospital said it's cooperating with law enforcement's investigation. We urge people in the area to shelter in place and follow instructions from law enforcement on the scene, the hospital tweeted. This tragedy is affecting all of us, and we ask for patience and prayers at this time. KJ Johnson told reporters that he was in the Northside Medical Building for his son's medical appointment when the shooting took place. He said he heard pops while in the office waiting room, but mistook them for a motorcycle backfiring. It was the office TV in the waiting room that alerted Johnson and the other patients of the attack. At that time, we had no idea there was a shooting. But then the television was on and there was breaking news on the television. And they mentioned that there was an active shooter and they gave the address and the address was the building that we were in, Johnson said outside the building. The shooting took place just 2 floors above him, he recounted. We were in the 9th floor. So once everyone heard the shooting happened on the 11th floor, you can imagine that some of the folks in the room got a little nervous, a little tense, he said. Johnson said everyone kept calm and the medical staff in the office ushered people into a secure back room while they waited for police to arrive to escort them out. The medical staff didn't make the matter worse by making it seem like there was some imminent threat to our health, he said. Johnson managed to assist a patient with limited mobility walk down the 9th flight of stairs to safety once he and others were evacuated. Sen. Raphael Warnock took to the Senate floor Wednesday afternoon, decrying the afternoon's events. He said it adds yet another tragedy to America's long list of mass shootings while politicians fail to act. Warnock, who represents Georgia, said his own children were in lockdown in their school due to the shooting.